Alright, people. If you haven't heard of the news, Sergey Kovalev is calling out Andre Ward for a third fight. He felt like Andre Ward never really wanted to take the second fight. Sergey Kovalev had to beg him for that, basically. And it's kind of fucked up that Sergey Kovalev got stopped by Andre Ward in the second fight because it just made it seem like he got what the fuck he was asking for. So he can't keep bitching about how Andre Ward is ducking him. He don't want the third fight. But let me tell you guys this. And you guys know I don't give a fuck about Sergey Kovalev outside the ring like that because the guy is a fucking racist. But I do respect Sergey Kovalev in the ring. His skill, great jab, power, boxer, puncher, has a very good resume. Um, and Sergey Kovalev is a future Hall of Famer. Yeah, that's right. We got to put our feelings aside when it comes down to Sergey Kovalev and what we think about Sergey Kovalev. And I'm going to break down in this video why a third fight with Andre Ward and Sergey Kovalev, that might be hell for Andre Ward. Sergey Kovalev has not been the same since he been with, what's the cat name? The new trainer? Oh, I can't think of it right now. Buddy Mcgirt. Yeah. Since he been with Buddy Mcgirt, Sergey Kovalev feel like Andre Ward probably be an easy fucking fight. He feels like Andre Ward cannot beat him with Buddy Mcgirt. And I'm not trying to support that, people, but I can see where Sergey Kovalev is going with this. I can see Sergey Kovalev being a way tougher fight for Andre Ward than he was in the second fight. Alright, not making no excuses, but let me really talk to you about it. In the first fight, Andre Ward arguably lost that fight. I don't give a fuck what none of you guys say, man. I watched that fight back to back to back to back to back. It was a close fight. Sergey Kovalev was the champion in that fight. I feel like Sergey Kovalev, I linked with Sergey Kovalev in that first fight, y'all. To this day. Wilder voice. Alright? Now, I will say it was close, and I can see why some people had Andre Ward winning. But I had Sergey Kovalev winning that first fight. And then in the rematch, I picked, of course you had to pick, but I picked Andre Ward because we all know that Andre Ward he's pretty good at adjusting. Plus the whole thing going to the camp, knowing that John David Jackson was going to give you the tools on how to beat how to beat Sergey Kovalev. You guys know I edit shit. But all that played into Andre Ward's hands, y'all. So it's like, yeah, Andre Ward got the W, but let's not act like it wasn't no controversy surrounding that W. Let's really talk about it for a second. First of all, you're getting into it with your trainer, John David Jackson. We all know they had a serious issue. That's not good mentally going into a fight with a fighter like Andre Ward. Second of all, your trainer is giving Andre Ward the goddamn game plan. Okay? That's just second of all. Third of all, John David Jackson and several other sources has claimed that Sergey Kovalev was down there letting himself go at one upon a time. He was drinking a lot. He wasn't really training like that. And he felt like he beat Andre Ward in the first fight. Fourth of all, you can argue. I know on paper says different. But I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Paul Williams beat fucking Erickson Lar on paper. We know who really won that fucking fight. So don't give me that bullshit. You can argue that Sergey Kovalev and Andre Ward is 1-1. Like I told you, I'm not protecting this man. I'm not supporting Kovalev outside the fucking ring, but I'm a fucking realist. And I put feelings aside when it comes down to reality. Alright? And I do feel like a comeback fight, Andre Ward versus Kovalev, is a big fucking fight, man. And it's a big deal. But that's fourth of all. You can argue that they're 1-1. Okay? Fifth of all, this is the main shebang bang. I don't care what nobody say. I'm not biased. Yes, I do not feel that this was a deciding factor of the fight ending. But I do feel like, and even Tony Weeks apologized and said he did miscall. It was a fucking low blow. Okay? So, Sergey Kovalev, that fight controversially ended because of a low blow. Now, I thought that Kovalev was tired, and he did get hit with a clean right hand, and I thought he was hurt from that point. But the low blow did not help it, and it was a clean low blow. Now, for Andre Ward to take this fight, of course, it won't happen this year. It will have to be a mega bout in like 2020. Who knows? Maybe Andre Ward may need 2 tune-up fights. But Sergey Kovalev feels like Andre Ward cannot beat him with Buddy Mcgirt, and he might be right. I don't know. Andre Ward coming back. I don't know if his head is all the way in it. And Andre Ward is actually considering this, people. Don't get it twisted. But how do we know that Sergey Kovalev, Andre Ward, his head is really in the game like that? Now, if he comes back, I can see, Andre Ward fighting a John Pascal. Because I think a third fight with John Pascal and Kovalev makes sense. But that's another fucking video. But maybe, to get some ring rust in, Ward could come back and fight like a John Pascal. Then maybe he could get it in with a fucking, who knows, It's a lot of fights out there for Andre Ward, but he only need like 2 more fights. I feel like Andre Ward want to come back and make a lot of money. He can have a mega showdown with the winner of Kovalev and fucking Canelo, because even the Canelo versus versus Ward is mega millions. So Andre Ward got some real money on the table if he decides to take either fight. Even if Sergey Kovalev loses to Canelo, it's still a great fight. But it'll be bigger if he beats Canelo, which I don't see, but that's another blog itself. But really think about what I'm saying, y'all. Kovalev being with Buddy Mcgirt, he's more of a boxer now. He's no longer drinking no more. He has rejuvenated his career ever since that Andre Ward fight and linking up with Buddy Mcgirt. He's using his boxing ability. He don't have a trainer that's more against him than with him in the fight. And I want to see that fight, man. I want to see Andre Ward. He was at the Yardy fight. I know Andre Ward had to have and thought that, man, just imagine if I was in there with Kovalev, he wouldn't be getting away with a lot of the shit that he's doing. So, and regardless of what we say, Kovalev arguably won that first fight. That's why the rematch happened. So let me tell all the people right here, I'm interested in seeing Kovalev versus Andre Ward in the third fight. If Andre Ward comes back and really beats Kovalev, that is big business. All right, y'all, I'm out.